Good morning, students. We are learning microorganisms, friend and foe. In our previous class, we have learnt some of the microorganisms. They help us in many ways. For example, we saw that some of the microorganisms, they help us in making medicines, antibiotics, etc. Some of them help us in making different types of food, okay, especially packaged foods. They help us in making curds and different types of beverages. Beverages means drinks. Some of the microorganisms also help us in making the soil fertile, and they help us in the production of crop plants, etc. We have already seen that type of microorganisms which are useful, and we can call them our friend. Today we will learn about those microorganisms which are harmful to us. Okay, why are they harmful to us? Let us see. There are many microorganisms like viruses, bacteria, some of the protozoa and fungi. They may cause diseases to human beings, not only to human beings, but they also cause diseases to different plants and different animals. Okay, so there are certain microorganisms which cause diseases to humans, plants and animals. That's why they are harmful to us. So we can call them our foe. So these kind of microorganisms which cause harm to us, they are called our foe. Okay. Now such microorganisms which cause diseases to humans, plants and other animals, they are called pathogens. What are they called, students? They are called pathogens. So what are pathogens? Pathogens are the microorganisms which cause diseases to humans, plants and animals. And these microorganisms cause diseases because they can spread. Okay, they can spread through different media. Okay, they can spread through air, they can spread through water, they can even spread through food, and they can spread through personal contact. Means when we come in contact with the person who is infected or who is diseased by the microorganisms. Or we can also say if we come in close contact with the person who is already sick, okay, the microorganism which is making the person sick, that microorganism may be transferred to us also, to the healthy person also. Okay, so that is called personal contact. Okay, and those kind of diseases which spread through personal contact, those kind of diseases are called communicable diseases. Now, and some of the microorganisms may also spread through certain animals or insects. Now let us see the example of each type of microorganism which are spread through such media. Okay, let us first understand what kind of microorganisms spread through air and what are the diseases. Okay, what are the name of the diseases which are spread through air. Okay, now these microorganisms which cause these tuberculosis, measles, polio, this kind of diseases, they may be present in the air, they may be floating in the air. Okay, and if they come in contact with animals or humans, they may cause diseases. So these microorganisms which spread through air are the bacteria which cause tuberculosis. Okay, tuberculosis is the name of the disease which is caused by a bacterium. Bacterium which is a microorganism. Okay, it is caused by bacterium. Measles and polio. Measles and polio, they are also the diseases which are seen in human beings, and they are caused by viruses. Measles and polio, they are caused by viruses. Now we know that viruses, bacteria, all these are microorganisms, isn't it? And these microorganisms are making humans sick. That's why these should be considered our foe, because they are harming us. And these kind of microorganisms, they spread through air. Okay, now there are other microorganisms which are found in water. Okay, and they also disseminate, or they also spread through water. Okay, wherever the water is contaminated, or we can say wherever the water contains these kind of microorganisms, okay, organisms, they are cholera, typhoid, hepatitis A. These are the diseases. This the name of the diseases: cholera, typhoid, hepatitis A. These are the name of the diseases. They are spread through contaminated water. Now, what is the meaning of contaminated water? Contaminated water means the water which contains the microorganism which cause such kind of diseases. Okay. Now, this cholera is a disease which is caused by a bacterium again. Okay. This is cholera is caused by bacterium. Cholera, Vibrio cholerae is the name of the bacterium, but we will just remember what type of microorganism causes cholera. Okay, cholera is a disease in human and it is caused by a bacterium. Typhoid is also caused by bacterium. Okay, and this typhoid disease, the disease typhoid is not only spread through water, but then it is also spread through food. Okay, so this typhoid is also caused by a bacterium. That means bacterium, this kind of disease causing bacteria, they should be considered our foe, isn't it? Hepatitis A, okay, hepatitis A is caused by a virus, and virus is also considered, actually virus is neither living nor non-living. It forms a borderline, we have already seen, but then when these viruses enter our body, they may cause diseases. For example, recently which virus is causing so much of tension? Coronavirus, isn't it? This coronavirus outside our body, it is non-living, but once it enters our body, it becomes living and it causes the disease. Okay, so these viruses, hepatitis A is also a disease. Okay, this causes a disease of liver. Okay, and it is caused by a virus. So hepatitis A, it is a disease of liver and it is caused by a virus. Okay, and viruses we have studied under the type of microorganisms, isn't it? So these type of microorganisms, they are not our friends. Okay, here I have written food. Some diseases are also caused due to some bad food. Bad food means the stale food. Stale food means basi khana. Okay, stale food, or the food which is not cooked properly, or if the food is not covered properly, that time what happens? If we consume or if we eat that kind of food, that may cause us typhoid, because the bacterium which causes the disease typhoid may be present in that of food, in that kind of food which is uncooked, which is improperly cooked, which is not covered, which is not kept safe, and which is stale. Okay, in that kind of food we find those kind of bacteria. Along with this kind of bacteria, there may be other microorganisms also. They may also cause diseases to human beings. So they are our foe. Okay. Now there are certain diseases which spread through personal contact. Okay, for example, this coronavirus, isn't it? Coronavirus, it causes severe respiratory syndrome. Okay, the disease is called severe means very serious. Okay, severe respiratory syndrome. It is abbreviated as SRS. Okay, and this coronavirus, it causes severe respiratory syndrome once it enters our body. Okay, and this kind of viruses, there are so many viruses which cause this kind of disease. Okay, and corona is one of them. Now this coronavirus, it spreads if we touch or if we come in contact with the person who is already suffering from the coronavirus, isn't it? Somebody who is already deceased, who is already sick because of this coronavirus, if we come in contact with that person, what happens? That virus may also transmit, or that virus may also come in our body and make us also sick. And that kind of sickness, that kind of disease is called communicable disease. Okay. Besides this coronavirus, there you might have seen heard about AIDS, isn't it? AIDS means acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is a disease and it is caused by a virus which is called HIV virus. Okay, HIV virus, and there are so many other viruses. They may also get transferred if we come in contact with a person who is already suffering from the disease. Now these are the examples of viruses, but there are certain fungi, there are certain bacteria which also get transferred from the infected person, from the diseased person to the healthy person, and such kind of diseases, they are called the communicable disease. Communicable diseases, they spread when the diseased person comes in contact with the healthy person. Okay. Besides these ways, okay, these are the ways through which the microorganisms which cause diseases enter our body. Not only our body, but also the body of animals and plants. Now, the fifth type of the way through which the microorganisms are transferred is animals or insects. Now, you might have heard that when the dog bites, we suffer from a disease which is known as rabies, isn't it? That rabies is actually caused by a virus, rabies virus, and that virus is present in the infected dog. And if the dog, infected dog, which is infected with the virus, rabies virus, if the dog bites a healthy person, what happens? The virus is going to get transferred to the healthy person also, and that healthy person will suffer from this rabies disease. So here what is it doing? This animal is transferring the microorganism, isn't it? This animal is transferring the microorganism. Rabies is also transferred by cats. Okay, so we have to be careful while we play with dogs and cats. Okay. Besides animals, there are certain insects. You might have heard malaria, dengue. Here I have written malaria, dengue fever, isn't it? And malaria is actually caused by a protozoa. Okay, malaria is caused by a protozoa. Protozoa, we have learned that it is a type of microorganism, isn't it? It is caused by Plasmodium, which is a protozoa, and dengue is caused by a virus. And this malaria, it is distributed or it is transferred by Anopheles mosquito. Okay, female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles. It is the name, scientific name of the mosquito. Okay, this Anopheles mosquito, what does it do? It carries the protozoa which causes malaria. Okay, it causes malaria, and this malaria causing protozoa will be transferred by this female Anopheles mosquito to human beings. When these mosquito flies to human beings and when they bite to a healthy human being, they will also transfer or they will also inject these malaria causing protozoa in our blood, and we fall sick with the disease malaria. So okay, so this kind of insects and animals which carry the pathogens. What is the meaning of pathogen? Pathogens are the microorganisms which cause diseases, isn't it? So listen once again. These kind of animals or insects which carry pathogens from the infected person to the healthy person, they are called the vectors. Which are called these insects and animals. They are transferring, isn't it? They are transferring the microbes, pathogenic microbes from the healthy person to the, from the infected person to the healthy person, isn't it? And these kind of insects and animals, they are called vectors. What are they called? They are called vectors. And dengue is also transferred or carried by one vector, which is, what is the name? You might have heard. Aedes machhad. It is mosquito, female. Here also female. It is female. It causes dengue fever, which is a virus. Okay. This dengue fever, it is caused by a virus. So this virus will be transferred from the deceased person to the healthy person through this machhar, through this mosquito, the name of which is Aedes machhar. Female Aedes mosquito will transfer the dengue causing virus from the infected or the deceased person to the healthy person. Okay. Now in this way, the microorganisms are our foe or our enemy, isn't it? So how to prevent these microorganisms from causing us harm? What can we do? What can we do? So to avoid the microorganisms which are there in the air, what should we do? We should always cover our nostrils and mouth with masks, isn't it? For right now we are covering our mouth and nose with mask, isn't it? So we should always keep our entry points. Okay, these microorganisms, they may enter through what? Through our nostrils, isn't it? Our nose and mouth, they will enter inside. So what do? We have to cover them. And if we are suffering from these kind of diseases, what should we do? Whenever we will sneeze, okay, when we sneeze, what happens? We will throw small molecules of water, isn't it? Small droplets of water, and in those droplets of water, these viruses or bacteria may also spread in the air. And if some healthy person comes in contact with that air which has these microorganisms, that person is going to get infected, isn't it? So what do? If we are sick, if we are suffering from some common cold also, whenever we are sneezing or whenever we are coughing, what should we do? We should put one handkerchief over our nose or mouth so that the microorganisms will not spread in the air and other people will not be diseased, other people will not be infected. So this is one. Water. To avoid this type of bacteria or viruses, the water should always be boiled, or they should always be treated water. Okay, nowadays chlorinated water is supplied to our households, isn't it? There are so many other methods through which these kind of microorganisms, they can be killed, so that the water can be made free of the disease causing microbes called pathogens. Okay, so the water should always be clean, it should be clear. We should keep in mind that we are not bringing water, we are not drinking water wherever or whatever type of water we get, we should not be drinking that. We should make sure that the water which we are drinking or the water which we are using for bathing or cooking, that water should be free of all these microorganisms. And there are many methods to make the water free of these microorganisms. One method is boiling, isn't it? Our mother will usually cook, while cooking she will also boil water, and that boiled water is free of these disease causing microorganisms. Another one is water can be treated with alum. Alum is a chemical substance, alum, or they can also be treated with chlorine, isn't it? So water should be properly treated before the water is used for various purposes. They may be for cooking, drinking, bathing, everything. Okay. Now food, I already told that food, we always should consume the fresh food, not the stale food. Okay, the food which is freshly cooked, we should not be eating stale food. And we should also not be eating food from outside vendors, okay, with the street foods and all, because that the food there, it will not be covered properly and that may also be stale. So we should avoid having food from those kind of places. Okay, we should cook food at home and we should eat always healthy and fresh food. And whenever the food is there, the food should be covered properly. Okay, the food should be covered properly, the food should also be cooked properly, and then only those kind of foods can be eaten to avoid the disease typhoid. Okay, now what can we do not to come in contact with the disease? Now only we are doing, we are avoiding the person who is sneezing, who is coughing. We are covering our face, our nose and mouth with a mask, and we are using sanitizers also, so that if the microbes which may cause diseases to us are there. They may be killed or they may be removed or they may not come in contact with us only. So we have to practice certain measures so that the microbes, the viruses or the bacteria, they will not come in contact with us and we will not fall sick. So we have to measure such practice, we have to practice such measures like covering our nose and mouth, using sanitizers, avoiding coming in contact with the deceased person. Okay, so all these things we have to do. Another one, avoiding these machars. What do we do? Avoiding these machars or mosquitoes, we use, what do we use? We use mosquito nets, we use mosquito repellents. There are so many other methods through which we can avoid the mosquitoes from biting us. Or we can also see one thing, that we should not make our surroundings unclean. We should keep our surroundings clean. We should not let any water remain in our surroundings which is stagnant. Stagnant water means which is not flowing, because these Aedes mosquito and Anopheles mosquitoes, they will grow and reproduce in the stagnant water where there will be water, still water. Okay, they will lay eggs there and they will multiply and they will cause diseases, they will spread. So we have to clean our surroundings. We have to keep our surroundings clean. We should not allow any water to deposit around us, and we should not allow any garbage or the stale things, okay, bad things to stay in our surroundings. In that way we can protect ourselves from these kind of microbes which cause diseases, and they are called pathogens. Now not only to humans, but there are certain microorganisms which cause diseases to animals also. Let me write here, students, the microbes which cause diseases to animals. Let us quickly write here. Animal diseases. Animal, they also cause diseases to animals. I said, isn't it? Animal diseases. For example, we will see very few. For example, anthracis. Okay, anthracis is the name of the disease. Okay, it is the name of the disease, and it is a bacterium. It is a bacterium. The name of the bacterium is Bacillus. Oh, it is Bacillus, LLUS. Let me write here again. Disease is anthrax. Okay, it is anthrax. It is caused by a bacterium called Bacillus anthracis. Anthracis, and this bacterium causes disease not only to humans but also to, they cause diseases to humans plus cattle. Okay, cattle means those kind of animals like cows, buffaloes, goats, okay, those kind of animals, they are called cattle. So this anthrax disease, disease is anthrax, and the pathogen or the microorganism which causes this disease is called Bacillus anthracis. It is a bacterium. Okay, it is a bacterium, and it causes diseases to both human and cattle. Cattle means animals like cows, buffaloes, goats, etc., sheep. Now, this Bacillus anthracis, it was discovered by a scientist whose name is Robert Koch. Okay, Robert Koch. Robert Koch is the scientist who discovered this bacterium Bacillus anthracis. Besides this, there is one virus. Okay, there is one virus which causes foot and mouth disease. Okay, the name of the disease is very easy to remember. Foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease, and it is caused by a virus. It is caused by a virus. Here also those cattle kind of animals, they will be affected by this virus. Okay, there will be wound in the mouth and the legs or the feet of the cattle, and they will suffer a lot. Okay. Now, besides animals, these microbes, they may also cause diseases to plants. So, let us see few examples of plant diseases. Plant diseases. For example, there is one disease. Okay, the name of the disease is citrus canker. Okay, the name of the disease is citrus canker. The name citrus means orange kind of fruit. Okay, orange kind of plants. So they will cause, it is caused by a bacterium. It is caused by a bacterium. So if this bacterium infects the citrus kind of fruits, what happens? Our crop yield is going to go down qualitatively as well as quantitatively. The quantity and the quality both will go down, and it will not fetch us money. Okay, the farmers will suffer huge loss because of this bacterium which causes the disease citrus canker in plants. There is one virus which causes yellow mosaic disease. Okay, yellow mosaic of stem, we can say yellow mosaic of stem or leaves. They may be seen on the leaves also, and it is seen in brinjal, lady's finger. Okay, I mean brinjal. It is it causes disease to the brinjal. Another, and this is a virus. This disease causing microorganism is a virus. There is one more virus which is called tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus. This tobacco mosaic virus is a virus. Name itself is a virus, isn't it? And it will also spoil the tobacco plant. Okay, they will also spoil tobacco plant, and the leaves of the tobacco leaves will be spoiled, and the farmers will again suffer a huge loss. Okay, huge loss. Besides, our grains like rice, wheat, etc., they will also be infected by certain fungi. Okay, let us write the name of one. The fungus, okay, stem rust. Okay, there are different types of fungi which cause this stem rust. This stem rust is the name of the disease, and it is caused in the wheat plant or rice plant. Okay, wheat, it will spoil if this is caused by a fungus. This is a fungus. Fungus is a microorganism, isn't it? Now, if this fungus attacks our wheat or rice, then what happens? Our crop is going to become diseased, and if our crops become diseased, then we will not get as much yield as we should do. So again the farmers will be in loss, and we will also be indirectly in loss because we will also not be having much of the grains. Okay, much of the grains. And if there is less amount of wheat and rice, what happens? The price of the grains, they will rise automatically, isn't it? So we will also suffer indirectly. The farmers will directly suffer because this kind of fungus, if it attacks our grains, it will reduce the yield, crop yield, and we will suffer indirectly. Okay, so these are the microorganisms which cause diseases to humans, plants, and animals. Now, besides causing diseases to humans, plants, and animals, there are certain microorganisms. For example, there is one bacterium. Okay, the name of the bacterium is Clostridium botulinum. Botulinum. Okay, this is the name of the bacterium. Okay, now this bacterium causes the spoilage of food. It will spoil the food. The spoilage of food means it causes food poisoning, you have heard, isn't it? Food poisoning. So there are certain microorganisms which cause food poisoning or spoilage of food. So we can write the second point as spoilage or poisoning of food. Okay, poisoning of food. And this poisoning of food is caused by what, students? This poisoning of food is caused by a bacterium, the name of which is Clostridium botulinum, and this spoilage of food is known as food poisoning. Okay, food poisoning. And this food poisoning is usually seen in stale food. Stale food means basi khana. Okay, stale food, and if it is uncovered and if it is not properly cooked, if it is cooked in unsanitized environment, then that kind of food may contain this bacterium. This bacterium, it will produce one substance. Okay, poisonous substance, or we can also simply say poison, but it is actually a toxin. Toxin means poison only. This bacterium produces a poison or toxin. It will release that toxin in the food, and if we eat that toxicated food, then what happens? We will suffer from food poisoning, and sometimes if it is very severe, if it is very serious, the person may even die. So in this way, the microorganisms are considered our foe. So let us quickly sum up today's lesson. There are many microorganisms which cause harm to not only human beings but to plants and animals as well. Most of the microorganisms, they cause diseases to humans, plants and animals, and those disease causing microorganisms, they are called pathogens. These pathogens may enter the body of human beings through different ways like air, water, food, through personal contact, or through certain animals or insects. Several and those microorganisms can be avoided by practicing certain protective measures. One of the we have seen the protective measures according to the ways, but one of the most important protective measure nowadays is practice. It is known as vaccination. What is it? It is vaccination. We have already learned about vaccine. What do we mean by vaccine? Vaccine, isn't it? Vaccination means the injection of the killed or mild microorganisms in our body to produce antibodies to kill the same type of microorganisms if those kind of microorganisms enter our body. So through vaccination or practicing certain protective measures, we can avoid these microorganisms from causing us harm. Okay. Besides causing different kind of diseases to humans, they also cause diseases to animals. For example, foot and mouth disease is caused by a virus. Anthrax is a disease which is caused by a bacterium, Bacillus anthracis, etc. There are several animal diseases which are also caused by microorganisms. Besides animals and humans, these microorganisms also cause diseases to plants. For example, citrus canker, mosaic, different type of plant diseases are caused by microorganisms. Besides causing diseases to plants, humans and animals, they also bring about the spoilage of our food. Okay, they poison our food by producing a toxic substance, and that causes food poisoning. Now besides spoiling our food, they will also spoil our materials at home. What kind of materials will they destroy? They may destroy our furniture also. Furniture which is made up of wood, isn't it? They may destroy our furnitures. They may destroy our leather goods like bags, shoes, caps, etc. Okay, leather goods. They may also spoil our clothes or clothing. They will all be destroyed by the microorganisms. So in this sense, we can consider microorganisms as our foe. What is the meaning of foe? Foe means our enemy. Okay, so there are certain microorganisms which are friendly to us, and there are certain microorganisms which are not so friendly or they are harmful to us. So microorganisms can be both. Some are friendly, some are not friendly. And how can we keep away these microorganisms? One simple method is vaccination. We have to immunize ourselves through vaccination. Okay, we have to immunize ourselves through vaccination, and we also have to practice certain preventive and protective measures. Okay, so this is all. In the next class we will see the further lesson under the same chapter. Thank you.